Good day, everyone. This is the Moment to Moment podcast with Shane Hagedorn. It is the weekend officially, and I'm really excited. Today is the Michigan and Michigan State game. A lot of rivalries in this state. A house divided cannot stand. Or if you're an Ohio State fan, then you welcome the sibling rivalry and ensuing drama, possibly fisticuffs, definitely some pie throwing, some name calling, and an uncle leaves ashamed. Anyway, so Michigan State, Michigan game today. A lot of my friends are on both sides. Me, I don't really get a chance to watch sports that much. Although I did play in high school, middle school, I would say. I did enjoy wrestling and football. And then I got some kind of knee condition, and it was just painful. I think my body was growing too much for my joints. I was a little husky kid. I used to hate that word husky. My aunt would say, Shane, you're just husky. And to me, that was like very nice for a fat kid. I wasn't that big, but you get the gist. So I wasn't involved in sports in high school. I didn't even have to do gym through my freshman year, but later on, I got a doctor's note, which I thought was cool because it was a little weird in the showers. Even back then, I just didn't like to be around a bunch of naked dudes, okay? Sue me. But now, I haven't trained in a while, but I do enjoy conditioning, lifting weights. On my 45th, I'm going to be 45. On my 43rd birthday, I made a special challenge to myself to perform an exercise, which is called the deadlift. And I wanted to go as heavy as I've ever done before. And I'd been kind of training up to that point. I enjoy being strong, and I do need that for my job. I do need to have that strength so that I can protect myself, of course, but I don't have to use it. It's there if I need it. But I don't choose to use it. On my 43rd birthday, I think I made a video of it, and I deadlifted 515 pounds, maybe 505 pounds, for a personal best or a personal record of 1 rep. That's a lot. And that year, I broke what is called the 1,000 pound club, where all of your top 3 lifts, let's say your deadlift, your squat, and your bench, all total up to and over 1,000 pounds. So, I got that. And everybody's like, what's your bench, bro? What's your bench? That isn't a total sign of strength, but it's all relative. So with your squat, bench, deadlift, if you can do over 1,000 pounds, you're in a pretty top percentile. There's dudes huge. There's dudes bigger than me. But I lift on my own time when I can and for my own peace of mind to kind of relieve some stress. That's kind of the extent of my athleticism. The past, I would say 6 months, I've been really kind of just going through the motions. I've been, pretty busy, but I haven't got a chance to get down there and sweat and grunt and throw plates around, which I do enjoy. I think it's because I haven't really had a role that maybe called for it, and that could be a lame excuse. We all have these excuses for ourselves. But I tell myself, if somebody wants to pay me, if somebody wants me to look a certain way, then, give me some money for it. Other than that, I'm walking around in my off-season weight, definitely not my fighting weight. I got some really good feedback and responses from you from last week's podcast. It was kind of, it was Mental Health Awareness Week. And so I dedicated some time talking about mental illness, not just somebody that's really, really challenged, but people on the spectrum, people that are having difficulty in time. So I just communicated some things that I thought may be helpful, things that worked for me. And I got some really good response. So thank you for listening to that. And thank you for letting me know that the things that I'm saying are touching you, that are relatable to you, because that's what it's all about. We're all in this together, and we're all here for each other, hopefully. I've been learning this over the years. To be a person of value, to be a person that can be a mentor or just be a friend, you have to give. And they say, giving makes you feel good. And I really do think it does. I mean, people are missionaries. People go on the street. They're helping homeless. They're helping family members, whatever. And I think that's kind of what I wanted to do with this podcast, is just start talking about various things and challenges and giving it away. Just things that I've learned, experiences, things that I've learned from other people, and putting it out there. Hopefully somebody could be entertained by it, can learn by it, and be maybe transformed by it. We can all hope for that. So this week has been, like I said, pretty interesting. I've had some cool things happen on the entertainment front. I had a few auditions. I had to grow out my beard. These were period pieces. Yes, I made a period film about 2 years ago, about this time, Wild Faith, and I had to look a certain way for that. But for these two roles, they were set back, way back in time. So I thought a beard would be good. Now, when you do an audition, of course, you kind of want to look a certain way for that character, for that role. And once you audition, you're waiting. It could be 3 days, 7, 10. It could be a long time. And if I were to shave that and get the call and then they start shooting in a week, boy, you've probably just lost that job. So I kept this beard, this scraggly thing. It looked like a bunch of spiders just having a party on my face, wires hanging all over. I waited, and I don't think I got the role, which is fine, but I did my best. I left it out there, did my best, submitted it, and on with it. But now I have to get some headshots taken. To be honest, an actor, as they say, should always have new headshots taken. It's very expensive to get these things done. Get them done professionally. I mean, if you change your looks once a year, you should get headshots every year. If the first thing that people see is a headshot, that could almost open the door for them to see your material. Now, if your headshot doesn't look professional, you could just get bypassed. They will never even go to see your resume, your reel, nothing, not even to go see your work. So all these years, I've never had a professional headshot. I've had friends take my photo who are good photographers. I never really booked anything off my headshots. This is actually the first time that I'm going to professional photographer and to get my headshot. So I'm driving to Chicago tomorrow. I talked my wife into going with me. I promised her snacks. Girls will do stuff for food. Food, snacks. She can do her homework. I just need a shotgun rider. And I'm hopeful that this new tool that I get, a headshot, will help with all the rest of the things that I have in place. My resume, my reel, and hopefully my cheery attitude. So I had a good meeting with my friends this week, talking about our projects that are coming out next year, and really, really exciting things. I can't share too much, but I can say that we will have the opportunity to have one of the largest theatrical releases that we've had to date. It's not set in stone, of course, so that's why I'm not talking too much about it, but it's hopeful, and a guy can hope, that we've increasingly had better turnouts, better release dates, and better screens. So this next one will be by far the best. So hopefully things work out and you'll be able to see more of our films in more states, in areas near you. Also talked about a new project that we will probably shoot in the spring. It will be our spring film. I just got the script for that. We share in our inner circle drafts of scripts, getting feedback, and it's really important that you share that work because collectively we can help through filters, maybe help it better, maybe look at something that you didn't see before, maybe just having, I'm very thankful just to have the opportunity to have an idea or express an opinion on anybody's stuff. But it looks like a really cool project, and I will have a small supporting role in it, which is fine. I love those kind of characters that can come in, just really focus on every scene and those moments and not having the responsibility to carry a whole film. It's nice being a lead in the end. It's tough, though. I mean, you really have to be, in my opinion, a leader. You have to have your stuff together. I think leadership does play an important part of that. The director, of course, is the quarterback. You're the right-hand man to that. On set, keeping people's spirits up. You're not in charge of that, of course, but it helps. It helps when people look at you and your attitude's good. You got everything down. You're not delaying production. You're not being difficult, team player, and bringing your talent, because that's what everybody is there for, to get those scenes made and make them the best. Being in a supportive role, I like those too. It's less pressure off me. I still produce. I still help get things for the film, theatrical, marketing-wise, just a list of things, and I really do enjoy that. So really good talks, things coming, and we're talking in the next 6 months, a lot of things can be dropping. We'll be announcing these, of course, on our social media sites for all the films, and I do share those on my websites, on all my social media accounts, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Halloween is roughly 15 days away from now. I think Halloween is fun for actors because, of course, you get to be somebody else. You get to dress up. You know, you're not getting paid for it unless you trick or treat. But you still get to go to parties, have fun. And I think if I were in LA, go to a Halloween party there, I've seen pictures. People go all out. They really do. But a cool thing is the rest of the people, it's their one time of the year. They get to be somebody different. They get to dress up and play a character, a role. And I think that's really cool to see that. I do enjoy dressing up. I haven't been to a party in years. Every year I look at Stace, I'm like, hey, we're going to do it this year. What do we want to be? You know, let's team up. Let's talk about this. We never do it. And I see everybody's pictures like, why didn't we do that? It would be so much fun. I know. I've been to a few. I just don't get to go that much. Do you remember in elementary school having to dress up? You know, I think we used to have those plastic masks, you know, just little slits for eyes, a little mouth. That string would always break. It was just an elastic string. The mask would cut into your face. You couldn't see in front of you. And you're walking around at night with this mask on that you can't see out of. You're tripping over. You've got a 50-pound potato sack or a pillowcase just full of candy, and all the suckers, the hard sticks were just jabbing into your legs like a punji stick. And that was fun. By the end of the night, that baby's dragging on the ground. It's all muddy, leaves, teared a hole in it. And that was Halloween. But I remember before all that, getting dragged around and you would have classes come to you. Well, I'm a bit of a procrastinator. And even as a kid, I was a little. And I'd always spring these things on my mom. My mom was a single mother raising me and my sister in an apartment, and we were in a house. And she would come home from night shift, and all of a sudden I go, Mom, I need a costume. Mom, I need this project done. And she would stay up and she would do it or help me or make the costume. And I'd just put her through probably so much stress. You just want to relax, go to sleep, eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and go to bed. But no, I got to make Shane into the mummy. So this was her idea for the mummy. I was going to wear my long johns, you know, all the white waffle board long johns. I was going to go to school, wear the tops and bottoms, and then to top it off, she handed me a roll of toilet paper. So once I got to school, I would take that toilet paper roll, wrap it around my body, all the way around my legs, all the way around my body, my face, and I would be a mummy. Looks good on paper. Now, You've got an 8-year-old doing this himself in a bathroom. It's already started, and I'm now prepping for this thing, and I'm wrapping the toilet paper on. It's ripping. It's not the good ply Charmin stuff we have now. It was 1-ply, not the greatest toilet paper, and I'm wrapping it around. And finally, I'm like, I got to go. My class is already touring. I catch up to him, and I'm walking around, and the stuff starts to come unraveled. First, my feet. And I'm like, okay, mummies, yeah, that's normal. Mummies are always ratted and tatted. And then everything starts to come off. By the end of the trip, I was just walking around in my underwear. Just some kid. Like, what's this kid doing? He's in his underwear. I don't know. And that was me. And I was so embarrassed. Why didn't I just stick to the costume with the mask that cuts into your face and leaves you a permanent scar? I had to do it a step above, but didn't really prepare for that moment. Anyway, needless to say, I didn't win the prize. We lived out in the country, so we didn't have like a neighborhood, okay, where you go through and there's a house every 50 feet. We had houses hundreds of feet apart. So either we trick or treat there when maybe 3 or 4 houses were even available to us, or they'd have to drive us to a city where we would go and some strange town with a bunch of kids that we didn't know, and we just kind of walked up to people's houses and trick or treat, and they'd stay in their car and they would just kind of follow us, or meet us at the corner of Jones and Ash, and we'd have to find that, and we would go for hours. We didn't want there was still candy to be got. We didn't hit this house yet, and we had to keep going and just hoard it. We were terrible. And by the end of the day, your mask was off, the clothes, you had your jacket on over it because it was freezing, and you're just like, hey, I showed up, give me some candy. I made the effort. You got to get up off your candy. You don't want to eat it. I want to eat it. Let's do an exchange here, okay? And we'd leave. We'd go home, dump it, sort it, and live like fat kings for about 3 weeks. Now that I'm adult, I think that I would like to try to go to a party this year. I don't know what I'd like to be. What are some things that you like to do? Do you get that one costume that you break out almost every year because you don't have time to search out something else? It's pretty expensive, I would think, unless you want to be really original. I think the costumes, and if I'm wrong, let me know, they get skimpier and skimpier, okay? They're always the sexy nurse, the sexy witch, the sexy troll, the sexy Donald Trump. Wait, no, they haven't made that one yet. No, not yet. Guys, we're pretty easy. We're an army guy. We're a caveman. Unless you make us dress up something like you.
We're going as ketchup and mustard this year. I'm the ketchup and she's the mustard. It's funny thing, last year we reversed roles and I was the mustard. I really enjoyed being the mustard, but this year we're going to change it up and I'll do it for her. And she's going to be spicy, sexy mustard.
So go out to those parties, share some pics, share some stories. Let me know what you dressed up as. I really like the bonfires, the food, sitting around the fire, wearing some warmer clothes and having a drink with friends and laughing. And to me, that's fall, that's October. Yeah, share some photos, share some experiences. I'd like to hear it. You can upload anything or leave comments on my Facebook page, Moment to Moment Podcast on Facebook, and also my personal page, shanehagedorn.com/podcast. Leave a comment and let me know how I'm doing. Like I said, this is week 3. I'm still in experimental stage. We're still conducting research, kind of seeing how the show's going, uploading new artwork, hopefully trying to get on iTunes. So there's something that hopefully may happen. in the next few weeks and help broaden the audience and get some exposure to it. So thank you again for your listenership, and everybody have a great week. Remember, you can't live in your past, you can't live in the future, but you can live moment to moment. Thank you all, and God bless you.